Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's it going? I'm Daniel Bloodworth. I'm here with Adam Volker today.
Hi.
We're checking out Creature in the Well. Let's see. Up there already saying game's a little bit loud.
Great.
Sorry, Ian. Ian is also here. Yeah, Adam, I mean, tell us a little bit about like this game, this journey. Like,
What are we looking at? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Creature in the Well is a pinball-inspired hack and slash game. It's a top-down dungeon game, but instead of like normal combat mechanics, you have sort of pinball-based rooms that you go through. If you want to pick up and dive in, we can go and start a new game. We'll see. We're going to start with a cinematic, which sort of sets up our world, set in a desert.
And then I know you told me a little bit about the art style. We talked to GDC.
Yeah. So the art is inspired by one of my favorite comic book creators. His name is Mike Mignola. He's the guy who made Hellboy. Should I talk more?
Oh no, you're good.
Speak normally.
Okay. And all of these paintings I did for the cinematic because we don't really have, the game is like made by two of us. We don't really have like an animation department or whatever to like really juice this stuff up. So I'm doing a lot of like, moving the same specs across the screen, across some paintings to try to like set the atmosphere. This is the player, so this is Bot C. She is the last remaining robot of an ancient robot collective, and you sort of find yourself in the middle of a desert, not knowing like what your purpose is, or where you're from.
And what was it about robots that you wanted to go that direction for the character?
I just love robots so much. There's not really a reason besides that like metal sentient beings are cool.
Very cool.
I like the music.
Thanks. We actually worked with a guy named Jim Fowler, an English gentleman named Jim, and he composed and scored the whole game for us.
One thing, because I did get to play the build a little bit, one thing I like here in the beginning, if I can find a spot, so like you've got these paths marked out, but if you get like too far off the path, the music starts disappearing.
Right.
I think up here we can do it.
There are some secrets to find in this part. Like there are a few. If you walk away in the right angle or through the storm, there's this stuff to find. But if you keep going, it'll turn you back.
But I just love that music transition. It's pretty neat.
I'm so glad you noticed. Bo will be so happy that you noticed. He keeps adding these features. Bo is sort of the technical side, so I'm on the art side of the development team, and Bo is on the technical side, and then all the overlap in the middle of indie game development.
But what's Bo's last name?
Bowden Sayer. It's Sayre. And like there'll be days when he's like, "Hey, come over, check this out," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, you didn't hear it?" And he's really mad at me for not noticing the subtle, beautiful things that he hides in the build.
Yeah, and so now, without the sand, we get a nice clear look at the art style.
Yeah. And we meet the creature for the first time.
Did you guys ever contemplate, like, trying to voice it yourself and get, like, really awful tests back?
Doing VO. No, it's always such a huge like cost leap to do voiceover for the characters in the game, and so I think we'd always planned on just trying to get their voice through with text. Really? You can't be stuck on there.
No way.
Okay.
It was for a bit. That's weird.
That is weird.
You made it and then went back.
I know.
Bloodworth.
Dev build.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Like, because this is the demo we've been playing, at shows for months, and I've never seen that. So we start you off like really simply, right? Like we just teach you that there are bumpers, and then you hit the balls at them to gain energy, which is in the top left corner of your screen. That's going to be like the currency for the entire game. So right now it's just like the fun multi-ball, like watch the numbers go up, sort of introducing you to the game's core mechanic.
And then I think somebody had mentioned it earlier, but What was your reaction when you saw like Yoku's Island Express come out?
Yeah, I think like there's maybe more.
Because I imagine you were
genre
already
games.
partway through that, right? At that point. When
Yeah. We were sort of like had a prototype that was the core of what the game was going to be before that like came out, and I don't know. I think it's cool. I think like maybe there's a whole subgenre to be discovered. I'm so glad how quickly you picked that up, because that's really a point where people usually get stuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you showed it to me at GDC, so.
So we bet you.
Yeah.
Insider information.
But yeah, so for chat, like you grab the projectiles and then
Right.
you
So
charge them
yeah,
up.
the two weapons you have, like you'll see in the top left there. The X is what we call like catch or charge weapons. So you'll be able to hold on to the ball, and then your sort of aim will appear. Like that's what that little triangle is. And when you're doing that, you're actually rooted in place. So it allows you to sort of focus like the balls that you're holding onto, where you're going to shoot them. And then the Y button is like what we call strike weapons, which is just shoots them forward. So like those two weapons that you unlock versions of throughout the game are all like basically have the same function.
And then that door.
That door's too expensive for you to get through at this point.
Yeah, the other day actually, when I did this intro, like I realized that I went ahead and I realized like I left this door behind, so I came back to the door and then like I cannot go through this door anyways.
And those numbers actually mean something too, but I won't tell you what they mean.
Interesting. Take note of this, chat.
Oh.
That's another bow. That's another bow little gem for you.
All the numbers or just those?
Just that door.
Oop.
So here we introduce you to like some of the obstacles, enemies, you might say, in the game. Those particular bumpers will shoot out like a AoE on the ground that does damage to you.
Another one, which I haven't played in so long, I don't even remember how the game entirely works. Odama. Do you remember Odama?
No, I've not played that.
Yeah, it was a pinball / strategy game on the GameCube.
Okay.
Which I believe is made by the same guy that made Seaman.
Okay.
So yeah.
You remember all this?
Wow, that was pretty incredible.
So yeah, it's definitely a curiosity worth checking out. I think it even had like voice controls or something.
A curiosity. Step into my parlor. Yes.
One person in chat remembers.
Nice.
You gotta sprint there.
You do.
I tried.
It's very tight, like the timing on that, like to get through without getting hit.
Eyes. I'll decide what to do about you later. There's a threat.
Yeah, the creature's not nice.
I really like the black texture stuff that
Cool.
you got going on. It looks so cool.
Thanks. We did that. We did that to not have to texture everything.
Yeah.
Like the game's made in Unreal, and there's this incredible tool that it has. Shout out to Unreal for it's called Vertex Painting, and what I did in Photoshop was make like patterned texture, so that like gritty sort of whatever it is in the background there is a Photoshop texture that I can paint onto any object to be darker or lighter versions of it.
Oh, cool.
And so I can reuse it in all sorts of areas, and then Bo wrote me a tool to set the color of it, so you see on the ground I made it green, and then in the background it's black, et cetera, et cetera. So like it's super versatile.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh. We got Frog Janitor.
Oh my god.
There's Roger.
Roger T. Frog.
If you had to guess what Roger's middle name was, what would you guess it was?
Duh.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
It is.
Nice.
How did you know?
I don't know.
Just I thought that
Getting
was
real thought
I thought that
behind.
was real clever, but
I love that.
oh, it's canon.
I love that.
Roger the Frog. Man, you just saw right through me.
Hot Springs.
Yep, gotta have those.
You know,
gotta have that healing pool.
This is funny because right now, every once in a while, my wife will get into watching stuff on NHK, like the Japanese television services. And so, like last night during dinner, we were just watching a thing about guys that maintain hot springs.
Yeah.
And, like, clear out all the sulfur and stuff. And
What a life.
yeah.
Damn, this is a cool looking game.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Twigs. Oh.
Yeah, you got a twig. So if you hit start, you can see that like there's strike and charge tools.
Okay.
And then the capes are all cosmetic. But yeah, that's like one of the first charge tools people find. The thing that's cool about the twig, but also dangerous, is that it doesn't limit the number of balls you can hold on to. But if you have more than 3, they start to do damage to yourself. So
Oh.
like you can hold like a ton of them and knock bumpers down in like one hit, but you know it's gonna hurt you.
Very anime.
It is, isn't it? I'm a fan.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
The twig.
How far
Cut to a
can I
close up
go?
of Botsy.
Now, is this considered the wrong way, or is this like something you expect
Oh, there is
people
no
to...
wrong answer.
Okay, cool.
You're just in town.
Yeah, I definitely have not seen this yet, so this is cool.
Those of us who don't write reviews for Easy Allies are embroiled in a fantasy critic gaming, what you call it? Like fantasy football, but for
Fantasy
games.
League, yeah.
Okay.
And Don got this one on his team,
Cool.
and now I'm pissed.
Oh, it's you.
The creature's negging you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Chad's wondering what platforms this will be on. Are we allowed to
Ooh.
discuss that?
Yes, we are. So we will be on Xbox, PC, and Switch.
Noise.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going through the porting process now, which is just a ton of fun.
It's a very important process.
It is. It's very true.
I hate myself.
So this is a cool little artifact of like the early development, because originally we made the game as a multiplayer sort of like Windjammers,
Oh, okay.
fun.
Lethal League type of thing, and we were like, why don't we make air hockey but with characters? And so we were calling the game Stickball forever, and so that's like our Stickball core to kind of shout out to like our humble beginnings.
What a shift.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Dang.
Very different than where we ended up.
I love that. That's crazy.
It's funny because what we were doing at the time was like, oh, the field's a little empty. Let's add like a bumper or two, and then we're like, these bumpers are kind
There's
of cool.
nothing.
And then it was like, maybe we should just make a game about that.
Yeah.
And we just pivoted. We just went for it.
Love a good pivot.
Yeah, man. It was pivotal.
Whoa.
Cooking pan. Oh, yeah.
These morning
So
allergies.
these two, there's another one hanging on the wall there for you. These two items are Bo's joke to me because I love to cook gumbo so much. That he was like, well, we got to add a pan and a gumbo spoon in there for you, for no real reason. And I was like, I don't think we can do that. And then he was like, I already modeled them. Here they are.
Whoa. Crocodile Man.
That's Danielle.
Oh.
Love Danielle.
She's dope. She's a crocodile dragon.
Crocodile Dragon?
Yeah, she's the blacksmith in town, and she used to. I mean, I guess I could just let you read it. No, but she's sort of like my creative mirror because she used to forge all the
She
weapons.
looks kind of like you.
I know she does look like me, and she used to do it
Oh, you
by
got,
like
like, a
breathing
little
fire
cake.
into her furnace. But her creative passion went out, so she can't light her furnace anymore because she's burnt out.
Oh, no.
So you're burnt out?
Sometimes.
Doesn't seem like you're burnt out. Making gumbo, pivoting from a stickball game to this.
Oh, this one's afraid of me.
It's outside the house. I love it when characters in a game are afraid of the main character.
Cool. Well, I've got a game for you.
Bloodborne.
I think it's cool that there's so many options like right off the bat for weapons and customization.
RTF over there.
So you gonna stick with the gumbo spoon in the pan?
Oh
Not
yeah,
that that's a bad choice.
for now, yeah.
Great, cool.
I haven't really used
Is
them
there a
yet.
secret? If you use them enough, can you like cook gumbo at some point in the game?
No. Man, that's a good idea. Where were you a couple months ago?
Consulting
If you
on-
play enough pinball with this gumbo spoon,
Yeah. I was
creates a
consulting on
soup.
a new game called Gumbo Fighter. You don't know about it yet, but it'll be sweet.
Oof. This guy's rough.
love the sound. Our sound effects guy did some awesome sound stuff with
So all told, it's like 4 people?
so it's Flight School Studios is the name of the company. Bo and I live in Montreal, but the headquarters of it is based in Dallas, Texas. There's about 30 people.
Okay.
And they're of every discipline. So like, what's nice is like if Bo and I needed a bit of modeling help and there was some time, or a bit of animation help and there was some time, the folks down in Dallas helped us out with the game. So the principal team is 2, but it would be unfair to say that the entire game is made up. Because that's just not true. So one of the weird design challenges of a game like this is providing the player with a ball.
Right.
And so, like these, we call them dispensers, this thing on the bottom, kind of like the tea, and like just produces them, was like became a little dry for like 8 dungeons that are in the game. So these shooters were another thing that we used. And it was really interesting, like, because we were able to tweak like how fast, whether they tracked the player, whether they were doing like shooting balls that would do damage to you or not. But that like balancing that was really an interesting task. Presenting you with enough challenge, but like not too much in the beginning. So much fun when you can sneak a ball behind all the bumpers in the back, get it to bounce all around. And so the longer you charge it up, you'll see it changes color. And throughout the game, you'll find these old cores, old bot cores, if you unlock the secrets in each of the dungeons. You bring those to Danielle, and she levels you up, and then the balls change color and become more powerful and stuff. So on the right there, you'll see that you have 1 core, but if you're carrying a broken one, it'll appear there. Bounded orb transfer core.
Oh, let me see what your map looks like. Okay, little, like a subway map.
Yeah, like a metro.
Nice.
Metro map. Yeah.
Has
Ooh.
anyone ever made a game called Metrovania?
Like
Or
a
it's
subway,
like
Metro.
Like a subway, yeah.
Castlevania.
Metroidvania.
I don't know.
Also, Chad had an idea for a pinball cooking game. That sounds pretty fun.
Whoa.
Just bouncing those ingredients around in the pan.
Yeah. Gumball? Well, gumball's a thing.
Because they're different. Gumballs are a different thing.
Gumbo balls. We'll workshop.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about with
That's
this.
the
doing
limiter
more
of the
than-
twig. Yeah, so you're taking damage when you use it, but
Unlimited power blood. Get back to Ed. Looks kind of like the, is it the rebel symbol or the empire symbol?
it does look like that, doesn't it? I think it's the Empire.
You gonna get sued, bro?
I hope not. Should
Yeah,
I-
so this is the trick with these guys is you gotta.
Yeah, so
Get
this
them
is a
in
skill
sequence.
shot. This is like a skill shot puzzle where you've got to line up that first shot really, really well, and then it runs. Yes. Ooh, it was close. And that arrow on the ground is
I was
supposed to
gonna say,
be.
perhaps that arrow is a hint.
Perhaps. It's pretty specific though. You want to try to hit it like right in the center. Yes, yes. And don't stand in the way.
Oh, standing in the way actually affects them.
Well, yeah, the balls will stop if they hit you.
Got it.
Nice. I was so happy when I laid this one out. we tried to theme all of the dungeons as well. So like this one's about those trick shots. You know, in the first room you had those bubbles that you had to like hit in sequence, and then like the different rooms will sort of be thematically based on getting those tricks. Pop, 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 pop. The sound for the bubbles popping is super satisfying too. Something like that. I may have done scratch VO for those bubbles.
It's like Sweeper.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Merciful blood. I like the grass coming through.
This is another one of those trick shot puzzles.
Ah.
Nice.
There we go.
The white triangle.
I'm so glad you.
Rectangle. I don't know my shapes, but I'm observing.
Rhombuses.
Rhomboids.
Rhombos. Rombo dombos.
Rombo gumbo, is that a
Just
thing?
gumbo ball rhombos.
Gumbo ball rombos. First gumbo.
Oh, wow. Ian, I love your hair.
My hair?
I love that you're here.
Oh.
But your hair's nice too.
Thank
It's really
you.
nice. I was
You're
thinking that
You're making
earlier.
this a very fun
I was
morning.
trying to find the right moment to bring it up.
This old thing? I combed it or brushed it today, so,
Oh, good.
you know.
Just for the stream.
Just for you.
Wow, I feel special. Just really want to make sure you know how to do this. Nice.
Yeah, I think it does help to get a couple of balls so that we
Yeah, right.
get a little margin for error.
So those power wells are like one-time things. You can come back in the dungeon, different dungeons later, and grind some of the bumpers, but like those big, like amounts of power only come through once. And so later in the game, you'll be managing that resource a little more than now. Right now, it's kind of like you've only got one path forward in one dungeon, but upgrading cores costs power, and unlocking doors costs power, and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be about managing how you want to spend it.
Circles.
So this is the first trial in the game. That can be pretty difficult. I'd recommend giving it a go. It's got cool secrets that can beat it.
Oh, this is optional.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
But-
if you've got enough power, you don't have to play any of the rooms in the dungeon. You can move forward at your own pace and stupid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice. 1 second! Oh, we're so close.
Oh, I didn't realize it was being
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the numbers are.
Oh,
The
Oh, yeah,
timers.
yeah, I didn't look at that.
You were so close.
I did get one of these that was in the GDC demo.
Right.
Ludward?
2 seconds!
Nope.
Oh, 5. I like that it bounces up the stairs.
Yeah, the ball, like, it's a bit under the hood stuff, but, like, the ball is always at, like, 100 units height. So we had to make sure that, like, the walls that it was going to bounce off of, like, those stairs have to go up a certain height for the puzzle to work.
That's very cool.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's going to get you.
Do you
We
find
got
that
to see a
your
death.
gumbo-
They like to distract the deaths.
Do you find that your gumbo design helps your game design?
Oh! That's great.
So yeah, the creatures when you die, the creature's constantly like taking you out of the dungeon and throwing you back in town. It's like a way to say like, stay out of my machine, stay out of my mountain.
Huh? No health.
You got the hot spring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just take a stop off, rest up.
We're at 357 deaths. Since
Oh, I see. When
easy
you
limit.
keep going for a while, then it goes really fast.
Yeah, you can sprint if you hold that down. The dash button.
Buster Sword.
Yeah, a little bit. Roger's still mopping that one spot.
It needs to be clean.
I didn't realize this, but after we animated him and put him in there, I'm like, man, this dude's crazy. He's just mopping that one spot over and over and over and over.
It's part of the world.
Part of the character of Roger the Frog.
You're the frog. I'm glad you don't have to reopen all the doors.
Yeah. And you see the maps updating in the bottom right as well. So like it shows you, you know, the power wells that you have unlocked, where the last room you were in was, etc., etc.
All right.
And you were so close on your first try, dude.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, then
That's how you. That's how you
That's
hook
the
'em.
Souls. That's the Souls feeling, isn't it? Where it's like the first time you meet a boss, you get really close, and then 50 tries later.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that was good.
All right. Right. All right. This, I'm feeling good about this one. Oh, okay, you did it. So this is an example of
Secret path.
unlocking the cool secrets
Nice.
and getting the dope weapons.
Fan blade.
Ah! Oh, I thought it was like a long. I thought it was like a dual blade lightsaber for a second.
So yeah, if you hit start, you can read that description again. But what the fan blade does, which is super cool, is those red balls that you saw when they pass through the AoE, they turn red and do damage to you. But if you catch them with this, you gain health back.
Oh.
So it's kind of like
Very
our
cool.
lifesteal,
That's so cool.
which is very helpful in some of the later boss fights.
Oh,
Creatures hanging out,
just watching.
just being a creeper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the creepy thing when it doesn't say anything.
Always try to shoot. Well, yeah, that's great. You did way better. I always go for the top of the corner and try to sneak one like around on these rooms, so that you get all that sweet ball action, sweet pin action in the back.
Sometimes you have to actually aim.
I hope so.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's probably about it.
Ooh, close. Nice. Secret path. Secret path.
Secret
Reveal.
path, yes.
The path will be revealed.
Batter up.
Ooh,
Oh,
old core.
that's in a dead robot.
It's true. So these are like the quarters of like the other robot collective that, you know, maintained the machine. And each one of the like dungeons is kind of like a system of this giant machine. And each of the banners, I had so much fun writing like dorky lore into the banner descriptions of the different workers and like what each part of the machine is
bookkeepers
for.
and the coin counters.
Yeah.
And then the old core. Okay. So we don't actually equip or do anything with these. They just show up. We figure out
Right.
what to do with them later.
Right.
Hot Springs.
Joe, 41 months. Two hands now.
Busy.
Yeah, you don't really know how many hands the creature's got.
Oh.
It's handsy. So this is a teleporter. So if you spend power to turn it on, the first room you went into in each dungeon will allow you to come back to here because you're about to walk into the
Oh, okay.
the end of the dungeon, the boss fight in the dungeon. So like it allows, so you don't have to run through the whole thing every time you
Nice.
come back.
So these things I have to hit with the wall. Huh?
Yeah, you can't hit them with them. We went back and forth on whether you'd be able to slice them or not, but we wanted to keep the game about like wielding the ball and being able to skill shot it. Let's just get one level left.
Creature withdraws. That's nice. It's like a good introductory
Right.
fight without being like too crazy. I remember the one you guys had at GDC.
It was much
That
more...
took some work.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a mid to late game boss fight, actually. So these are like the control rooms of each of the mountain systems.
Mm.
And
Philip Frog.
Project.
notes from Philip. It's like the Batcave. It is like the Batcave.
Okay, so that's where we reconnect. The scribble is taped to the console. Okay. I got this little doodad here. I guess that takes us somewhere else, huh? Ah!
I'm so glad you jumped off because you do have to hit that button to complete the dungeon.
I love that you weren't locked onto that. Like,
Right, the
stuck on
elevator.
it, Yeah.
I was worried you were gonna leave without turning it
Yeah,
on.
I was like,
Ah, no! Go back!
The frog.
The frog cave.
Oh, nice. Hey, we found your friend.
He's probably dead. He looks like he's hugging you, and I sort of love it. Roger's just like, I love you.
The weather tether.
Yo, there's a frog emote.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Straight up, he's hugging you. It's amazing. Weather tether.
Oh, so they're trying to stop the sand. Interesting.
I hate sand. It's coarse.
Oh
It's
no! Kids everywhere.
You have to. Anytime sand is brought up.
So
this is
No!
great.
So there's
I
an
love
achievement
it.
for this actually.
Oh yeah.
Because this is a bug, and as soon as we found it, we're like, that's gotta stay in the game. Roger's just like, it has to be clean. It has to be clean.
And it never will be because the texture is there.
I actually, at one point, Bo and I were talking about, like, maybe one swipe is clean and then one swipe is dirty. And we're like, oh no, that just makes it worse.
Maybe at the end of the game, the texture where he's been mopping is clean. And no one will notice.
So, if you want to, you can hit start, go ahead and start,
Yeah.
and then quit, go over to temple settings, and then hit Y. And then go to that save in the middle,
Okay.
the pole in the middle, and that's like, we'll skip sort of the late game. So, that dungeon you just did is first dungeon, and now what I've done for this like save is unlock all, save one, the final one, of the dungeons in the game. And so if you keep going up to the platform there, you'll notice that there are a bunch more pillars. So
Oh, wow.
you unlock as you go, and they all have different mechanical themes and like weapons and stuff to find. I think if you hit start, I've got some of the weapons like unlocked, not all of them.
Dual blades.
Yeah, dual blades are cool. They give you sort of a reticle, and the axe splits the ball into multiple balls. That hammer. I mean, yeah, dude. I guess I kind of took some of the fun out of unlocking them. We can go back. The other save point is kind of like just a few beats ahead of where you were. If you wanna
Oh,
like
very cool.
slow down a bit. But I thought it would be cool to just let you pick
Yeah.
like any of the dungeons in the game.
Right.
To try. The one that's highlighted now has moving platforms. That one's pretty cool.
Maybe save these.
Okay. So yeah, then what I would do is do that first poll.
Sneak peek, chat.
Sneak peek.
Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, just the basics.
I didn't even have the twig.
And then so the one that's highlighted is where we're going, or?
That means you've completed it. So the door,
Okay.
the bottom ring will open the door, and then that symbol on the floor kind of represents the dungeon. So.
I think they're asking if there's a lightsaber, which that's probably a little bit of a spoiler, if there is.
A lightsaber. Yeah, I think that would be legally problematic.
Well, they have the beam sword in Smash Brothers, right?
Oh man, what is that?
What is
book?
happening with that line?
Oh man, I really think that. I'm gonna text Bo about that as soon as we get off the stream.
He's probably watching.
He's probably watching.
And he's like,
Oh,
Bo Dad, save me!
you probably already fixed
He
it.
probably did actually.
He's probably like,
how you
but
do.
this is not a thing on my machine. What's wrong with your laptop?
Accuracy.
So you gotta
Oh,
sneak
and if
the
you
ball.
shoot that thing, it blows up.
Yeah, so those things are no good.
Oh, cool.
They just said
Oh.
nougat for a second.
They are not made of nougat.
I think
They
I'm
are
hungry. I'm hungry and I'm having morning allergies.
just talking about gumbo and nougats
Yeah.
and.
Life is complex.
Our new morning show, Life with Ian.
If it's in the morning, I'll always have an hour of a runny nose because that's just how my life is.
Oh. Y'all hungry? I'm hungry.
You know, hungry? I had a bagel, but I'm still hungry. I don't know. Does that happen to you?
That ever happened to you? You get hungry?
Tired sometimes?
Tired maybe? Once a day? Once a
Constantly
day.
afraid?
40,000.
Somebody's eating dinner. Whoa. Time. In the Midwest, sometimes older people called lunch dip.
Yeah.
And it was very confusing.
Really? You from the Midwest?
Oh, yeah.
What part?
I grew up in Wisconsin, and then when I was 18, I GTFO'd over to Shack-A-Go. And then I was there for 7 years. And then I came to Yo! I grew up an hour north of there.
Oh, no shit.
You know Taylor's Falls?
I do.
Minnesota? I was right across the river, St. Clair Falls, Wisconsin. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I knew I liked you.
Yeah, I know. We're simpatico, brah. Yeah, I'm going back there for, well, not really there, but flying into there. It's thunderstorms, not
Tornadoes.
yeah, not tornadoes and not 7 months of no sun.
Yeah.
60-degree weather.
Winters are no joke.
Yeah.
So I think actually in this save file, I also don't have that cool weapon you unlocked. So you'd be able to heal from those balls that are red.
Yeah.
If you had it, but I'm just trying to make it harder on you, I guess. Sorry.
Well, I'm guessing you probably just rush to get to the point in the dungeon. Oh.
Oh! Do you have a dash with a dodge?
You do.
But it doesn't like dash through the stuff, right? Or does
Correct.
it?
Does not.
No iframes, Ian.
No iframes.
Yeah, that was another one we kind of went back and forth on whether they were or not.
Just gotta time it.
Now, is that just for power?
Just for power. Well, I mean, do you want me to answer the question? Do you want me to tell you whether...
Well, whether I did everything I was
You
supposed
did
to
everything,
do?
yeah.
Okay.
It's tough designing, like, you know, whether you hint at there's a secret to be found or not, whether, like, it's fun to discover that there is, or whether it's, like, you want to be clear with players. Like, you've done everything, you can move on.
Right.
Because you don't want people hanging out in a room and being like, you know, trying to find every nook and cranny if there's nothing to find. That's just frustrating.
Yeah.
But you do want the finding of secrets to feel cool.
Yeah, leveling, slide it past
Yeah.
everything like that.
And a little fun bit about these rooms is that the bumpers in them are randomly generated, so they're always going to be a grid of bumpers. But sometimes they're small ones, sometimes they're circles, sometimes they're wider.
Oh, interesting.
That's fun.
So when you come back to the dungeon, it's like the dungeons themselves are all built by hand, but these particular rooms have.
Do they always give you the same amount of power?
It's like the dungeons are balanced to allow you to grind them if you want, but the numbers are very similar.
Someone's asking if this will be a pack so they can check it out.
Sure will.
And Gamescom.
And at Gamescom.
Ooh.
Yeah. There may or may not be cool pins at packs.
So yeah, there's a mysterious voice coming off screen that's giving advice.
I bet there won't be dudes. It's a trick.
I hope
She said might or might not, you know?
it's one of the secrets of the game.
Yeah, what a cool specific. They might or might not, and then it's art.
No, I designed them. I made one of Roger and Daniel.
Yo, gotta go to Pat.
Roger the Frog. If you weren't sure what kind of animal he was.
Could be a toad.
OT Frog. Roger. From the European city of Prague, he's called.
Oh, is that real? Who's in the chat?
Bo.
Bo, there's a weird bug.
Bo.
With
Bowden.
going over the.
Bowden, there
bridge.
actually is a weird bug. It's a collision issue. Makes me very nervous.
Oh, we got timers.
Hi, Bo.
Hi, Bo. You can send us a build where that's fixed. We can finish the stream.
Yeah, in the next 2 minutes.
Next couple of minutes.
Ooh, you're close.
No.
So you do have to beat this one because the reward is cool. So
Is it a pin?
it may or may not be.
It may or may not be a pin. Bloodworth!
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. Deep breaths.
Get in there.
Ah! Just step to the right, bud. Ah!
It's better. It's better to charge to like use that arrow and really dial those in than that other for the last one.
It's nice of you to give them more time than that last. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm kind of bad at aiming this way.
You got this. This is the one. Yeah. Feeling it. Maybe not. This one. I'm feeling good about this one.
This one, great, yeah.
This one's the one. Okay, okay. Stage 3. Nice.
Use the arrow.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah!
There we go.
Oh, for a second I was like, it didn't do anything?
There may or may not be.
There may or may not be a pin.
Oh,
First try.
man.
Got it.
First try.
That's nice.
The dual blades.
So, like, we designed each of the trials to be like the weapon. Like, oh, if I had this weapon,
Yeah,
it would have
to
been.
be like, oh, it would have been great if I had this.
Right. They actually aim better.
That's sadistic. I love it. Dual blades are always my fave.
Yeah, they're cool.
Well, except for when they, unless there's an insect glaive, then that's my fave.
Let it be known, the hierarchy.
Yeah, the tier list. Insect glaive, S tier. Dual blades, S tier. Everything else, crap. Dual blades are not better than the insect glaive. Or Seraphis, you've gone off your rocker.
Ooh boy.
It's a good boy.
I said, ooh boy.
Good boy, Bloodwood.
Whoa, lovely.
You get a shiny new pin.
You may or may not.
You may or may not.
Wow, so look at all these.
So this one is probably an example of like you could knock those bumpers down faster if you had an upgraded core.
Ah,
Oh, because the core does more power.
The core allows you to charge the ball to be higher power, so you'd be able to knock the bumpers down in less hits.
Are there ever,
Oh, nice sneaky shot.
is it ever like gated where it's like you can need a better core?
It's not. It's not, but you know, if you're really into that punishing. A good strat is to just fill the room with balls because when they turn red, they go faster and they're a little more powerful. So you let those beams do a little bit of the work for you. It's more likely to get those bumpers down in time because you're not leveled.
under leveled.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Good boy. Oh man, that was close.
Wait, oh, again, I just reset it at the last second.
Oh, speaking of Minnesota,
Yeah.
they're just making me think of the moment where he's like, quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
What?
You remember that part of the movie of Mighty Ducks?
Oh, it's been too long. No, part of that was filmed in my hometown.
For real?
Yeah, 2, I think. That's the second one.
When I go to LA?
I think we have to abandon that one for the sake of time
Oh yeah, they do, don't they?
and my health.
And they do the knuckle puck.
Mm-hmm.
They turn a hockey puck on its side. Genius!
The same area of Interstate Park in Wisconsin is in Mighty Ducks 2 and A Serious Man by the Coen Brothers. Uh-huh. The part in A Serious Man where he has a dream and there's a sign that just says Canada with an arrow.
Canada, the dream.
Sort of is. I like Canada.
Canada's great.
There's the death!
No!
Here comes that Creech.
You've been watching.
My hand is so
Throws.
red.
Get out of my house.
I like that the creature's not nice to you. I'd imagine just from the title and stuff that he would be like, I don't know, friendly.
Really?
I don't know why.
What?
Creature in the Well is like, I can hang with that guy. He's an Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
Pick up your favorite weapons. Just in every save file, just going to get the spoon.
Kind of loud though. That's an interesting note.
What's that?
The frying pan.
Oh. Dang.
What's up, Raj?
I want to play this game forever.
Still mopping? Cool.
And so if we got like the teleporter at the end, where does that show up?
That's the first room in every dungeon, so you've run through it a couple times.
Oh, okay.
So
So it's very similar to like an old Zelda dungeon then.
right, it's this one right here. So that becomes like
That
this big
thing.
white beam, and you walk into that, and you teleport to the end of the dungeon.
That
Bo,
one.
there's the
Bo.
bug, Bo.
Show Bo. Bo!
What is that?
Bo, look!
Bo did. Ugh. I'm unhappy about that.
People are at- Not my fault, he said.
That one's on me then, huh? I did lay that room out.
How dare you?
From the game. Delete, delete, delete. Yeah, that's. I'm sitting here. See, it does sound nice.
Yeah.
It's very crass. Did you find like which door you wanted to go into? Like, was that a difficult decision? Is the design working?
It's the yeah.
Okay, great.
It's the one that doesn't look like the way forward. Yeah.
Some top tier feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. This is pretty cool. Great, I'm so glad.
I like the part with the pinball.
Gumbo spoon, pretty cool. Chick. Oh man.
There's a lot of different things you could be able to do.
It's true, it is full of stuff.
Yeah, what's in a gumbo? What's in a good gumbo?
There definitely has to be like a completely whole like crab pincer that you have no idea how you're supposed to like crack open.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Goulash?
Goulash.
Mm.
I'm thinking of goulash.
Okay.
I love goulash.
Cool.
What the hell's gumbo?
It's a Cajun Louisiana like soup, spicy soup.
Yeah.
It can have like seafood in it or chicken and sausage.
It's basically
Can you
like
make it without seafood or red meat?
Maybe.
Shit.
I mean, I've never tried making a veggie gumbo, but I guess it's possible.
I cannot
say
save
veggie.
my place.
Well, what are you thinking? What's the substance?
What if one only eats birds? Chickens and turkeys.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know what you'd call it, but it
Whoa!
probably wouldn't be called gumbo. But you could put chicken in gumbo.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Creech is getting involved.
Creech. Old Creech.
Oh, Creech.
Oh yeah, Ian was in was doing research when we were.
He's got those prickly
Oh, this
jacks.
happened before?
Yeah.
He's
on the
throwing red
previous
jacks
box.
at you.
He's just trying to play a game.
He's trying to play a game of jacks, you know?
He
Creech.
wants to do some pin trading on the schoolyard. Well, that one's already lit up.
Okay.
I'm trying not to drag you because I'm not playing, so like.
I'm glad you did it, so I didn't.
Sounds like blood tweeting.
Yeah, this game's fine. It's cool.
It's cool. Sometimes it's hard to tell when something's lit up. Whatever.
Oh, bro, fix it.
Oh. Bah!
I think the direction for our SFX guy was like, just make it annoying and noisy.
Yeah, just make it really loud. It makes me hungry though.
Like many things.
That might just be because I'm hungry.
Many things seem to.
It makes you hungry because you're already hungry.
I'm already hungry. Actually, I don't get hungry that often. It's a good sign.
It's healthy. It's healthy thing.
Yeah. It's the game. All my life I've been searching. Creature movement.
Happy to provide that service.
Thank you.
Yeah, so those guys will shoot the ball back at you. It's about volleying. It's like, you know, Forest Temple and Ocarina of Time. It's a straight rip.
Or tennis.
Hey,
Or
Mario.
tennis. Or something a little more older. You guys ever think about who the game designer of tennis was?
Like straight up tennis?
Yeah. Or like soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to feel like one of them stole it though, right? Like hockey. Like let's do soccer on ice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, they wanted to play soccer, but all they had was a bunch of ice.
Yeah, Jesse, you gotta have a
Sticks.
Dewey. Gotta have a Dewey sausage.
Well, that's
359.
And gumbo.
yeah. It's 2 minutes to noon. This is the end.
Oh man, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to figure out how to end it now. We just
See
ended
you
on a
later.
death. We talk about ending on a crunch, so the crunch there is that we didn't beat the boss. Yeah.
Very satisfying. Crunch. Loved it.
We got thrown out of the well
Yes, you do.
for being too loud.
What's your favorite thing about your own game? Go.
Oh man. Woof.
And what's your greatest weakness?
Your greatest weakness.
Is it caring too much?
Sometimes I'm just
Ooh.
too honest. You know, people.
Oh yeah, stickball crunch.
Man, I don't know. I'm really proud of the way it looks, and
does look really
I'm really proud of like the fact that we created a mechanic that is wacky and different and new, and still get like a lot of depth and challenge out of it. Those would be my few of my favorite things.
Oh, Fun-looking graphics. Energy pinballs and gumbo ass spoons. Ran out of syllables on that one. Had to throw ass in there. Anyway, I love it.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
You know, I think
Don's gonna have a heart attack.
so we just had like a overnight like slumber party 50-hour stream
Yeah.
Oh wow.
in a beach house. And the funny thing is, like, people talk about us loopy, you know, getting loopy late at night. But I really do think, like, the earlier it was in the day is when we were really loopy.
Chain Jack was like noon.
Yeah. That's
You don't understand
the
that,
easy
right?
hours
That's
loopy
fine,
schedule.
that's
okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, you don't. Nobody will understand Chain Jack. That's,
What are,
nobody does.
What's the information we're allowed to convey that we should convey about
About the
Creature in
game.
Well?
Well, it's at PAX and Gamescom, so you can play it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come check it out. Come say hey. Bo's gonna be at Gamescom, so all the bugs need to go to Germany. All the bug reports to
Yeah.
Bo, and then just the hanging out with me at
Yeah.
PAX West. Platforms are Switch, Xbox, PC.
Nice.
What's the next thing I'm allowed to say?
Releasing soon.
We're releasing it super soon.
Coming
Maybe
out
pins?
question mark.
Maybe pins, maybe not.
Maybe
I really hope
pins.
so, because I really spent some time designing them.
All right, I guess I'll walk over to the computer now.
Yeah. You're ready to take us out.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot our podcast here, and then you'll see you again tonight for Hall of Greats.
Oh God.
Which that sounds like Ian is similar boat as I am. Is like, what are we going to say? I don't know.
I made a video. It's gonna be bad.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, bye.
Bye.